Disruption Networks.
Live and direct from Disruption Network Studios, it is EC Radio. How are you, people? I think it's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? It is Wednesday.
That's me.
That's all right. I never know what day it is. It is Wednesday. It's just before 3 o'clock on the D. We are live on all Disruption Network social media platforms, and you can follow along whenever the hell you want at disruptionnetwork.net. Before we get into anything, much love to EJA Moving Services, the professional movers. When it's time to move and relocate, hit up EJA at ejamoving.com. Give them a call at 315-335-0516. The home of the free boxes. Can you believe, like, these other moving services do not give you free boxes? It's a tragedy. It is. It really is. They should be giving you free boxes, but Eddie and the crew at EJA gives you free boxes. Not only do they give you free boxes, but they pack them for you, they unpack them for you, and they move them for you, which is pretty much what they do, right? They're a moving service. Awesome. They make your move stress-free and easy for you to move and relocate. They'll pretty much move you wherever you need to go. Hit them up, 315-335-0516. Also, much love to attorney Dave Longaretta. When you need legal advice, hit him up at 315-735-6162. Dave's the man. Great guy. Tell him Uncle Z sent you. Also, much love to Utica Coffee and, of course, my good friends at Saranac. It is Wednesday. We are here live at the D, like I mentioned before, and we are here today with my very good friend, Jerry Chavo. How are you, bud?
Very well,
Jerry
man.
D.
Good to be back.
You got a new project out there, huh?
Oh, yeah. First of all, it's great to be back.
Thanks,
for
man.
having me.
Yeah, it's good to see you, too. How's this whole quarantine? Well, it's not really quarantine, but how's the whole COVID thing, the pandemic thing before you?
Lockdown, I call it lockdown.
Yeah.
It's been good for me, man. I'm going to be honest with you. Despite the negative that a pandemic obviously brings with you, but for me personally, it's kind of been good because it's allowed me to explore other things musically that I'm just super psyched about. That I got the chance finally.
Are you doing something different that you don't normally do?
Well, no,
being on the lockdown.
Not really, man. Not really. I mean, because let's see. So it's I'm kind of doing what I used to do before I started doing what I've been doing for 13 or 14 years, which is like the old time kind of swingy bluegrass, with the Rusty Doves and the Dovetails. But before that, I was doing some reggae music and reggae bands. I had my own reggae band, High and Mighty. I mean, you remember High and Mighty, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then I played with a group out of Syracuse called the Hot Steppers for a while, and they were fantastic. In fact, the bass player from that group is now in, like, the leader of Root Shock out in Syracuse, which is a great band.
Yeah.
They played my wedding, which is a fantastic wedding.
Did they really?
Oh, it was awesome.
Oh, what a great wedding.
I had Devin and Jeff Palmer open up, and not open up. They did like the cocktail hour, and then Root Shock did the reception for 3 hours. It was off the hook.
They're such a great band.
It was off the hook. People are still talking about it. I'm not even kidding, man. It was great. Anyways, so I really got into reggae like at the end of college, when I was in college, and kind of when I moved down to New York City. So I kind of started to get into reggae. I moved back to Utica eventually. This is like 20 years ago. Kind of started dabbling in reggae, but it's hard to find reggae musicians in Utica, to be honest.
You're dating yourself, you know that.
Anyways, you know what? I know. Joe Sweet hooked me up with this. I was talking to Joe about it, and he mentioned that he knew this reggae drummer. Turned out to be this guy I knew for a long time. Used to play soccer with him as a youth, Joe Basie. Mm-hmm. And so we hooked up immediately, and we started playing, and we started this band called High and Mighty, which was a lot of fun. We even had our own theme song, But actually, we opened up for the Wailers at
the Captain Trips,
sick,
right?
Bro, Captain Trips.
Yeah.
The Preserve, which was sick because, it was like I was hanging out with Family Man Barrett, the bass player,
and
from
Bunny
Bob Marley.
Wailer too.
Well, this was the Wailer, so there's only a couple of original members, but this is way post Bunny Wailer.
Oh, okay.
Because Bunny Wailer left Bob Marley way back in, before he started. This was probably maybe early 70s. We're talking mid 70s. So, anyways, and then it's funny because do you remember when I was I used to be engaged? Remember all that way back?
No.
Anyways,
those are
man.
my blackout ears.
So anyways, that ended and like, and that ended and kind of threw me into this place, you know. And so I hold myself up and I just started recording a lot of music, and it was all these kind of like reggae, kind of dub, ambient kind of reggae dubs, you know. But for like 5-6 months, that's all I did was like stay in my apartment and anyways. So I had all this music. Anyways, not too long after that, I met Alyssa. So obviously,
Alyssa from the Rusty Doves.
Obviously, my life took another course when I met Alyssa. You know what I'm saying? So fast, you know, I've always wanted to do something with that project. So fast forward to lockdown, it was a no-brainer. It just kind of bam, evolved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's more of like a loop type of thing, what you're doing,
I'm using
right?
it's total loop. Yeah, I'm using.
So
a
you're a
looper.
one-man band.
Yeah, but I do have Devin now.
Okay, Devin Garamone.
Devin Garamone on saxophone. You know, it could totally be a one-man thing, which was kind of its concept. You know, because I'm on lockdown. I'm alone anyway. So, but it lends itself easily to having someone come and sit in. You know, it's just one of those things. But you know, Devin is a good friend and an awesome musician. So he was in my last band. So, anyways. He's becoming more of an integral part of the band because it turns out he has the same looper. It's coincidence, right? But we can link and sync them, you know what I'm saying, so to speak.
Oh, yeah?
And so he's like laying down 3-part horn lines. Or really, it's just going to keep evolving. So I'm super excited. But I'm super excited about it.
Nice. It's good that you're getting back into your roots in a way, right?
Yeah. This is like a real heavy kind of reggae drum and bass dub kind of stuff. It's had different evolutions, you know, over the past 6 months too, as well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Jamaica?
No.
No? I'm
No.
surprised.
You know, I've kind of wanted to go, but I just never, you know. It hasn't happened yet.
Now is not the time to go.
Now it's not going to happen.
Now it's not going to. But you should go down there and take a trip down there, and maybe you get some more inspiration for D-Plex.
Yeah, man, that would be great too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm seriously excited about it in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what, are you playing different instruments and looping all that?
Yeah,
or?
so basically, you know, I'm looping everything at home. Like, I'm not doing it live because there's a lot of things going on.
Okay.
So basically, I have a 3-track looper, and on the first 2 tracks, I'm doing kind of like for, you know, like a rhythm, okay, so to speak. So like rhythm, guitar or keyboards or whatever, organ or whatever. And then on the 3rd track, I'm laying down a lot of bass lines, right? And then, so I have at a show, I'm bringing my bass and my guitar and my keyboard, and I break a lot of that down live. You know, I'll stop the track and I'll break it down live, you know, on the bass or whatever. And I have also a heavy kind of delay that I use, a space echo, a Roland space echo.
Love that.
Right.
That's
so
what makes it the dub side of things.
So I'm really just kind of starting to really understand like what I need to do up there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things going on. And so,
are you teaching yourself every day? Is that so? Like learning new things from all this?
I try to do something every day on it. You know, I try to either come up with a new song or dub, whatever, or try to perfect another one. It's really hard to get a really clean sounding loop. You know, it's like it kind of surprised me because reggae, it's kind of a hypnotic, repetitive thing. So, but even like a 8-bar measure, you know, it's like, or an 8-measure section. It's like it's really hard to hide, kind of that it's it's hard to hide the fact that it's a loop. So, it sometimes takes you over and over and over until I'm kind of satisfied. But then I go back to all the ones I did in the beginning, and I'm like, oh man, I have to redo this, and I have to do this. It kind of started more instrumental, and I was doing more like I wasn't using a guitar. It was just my keyboard synthesizer, and I was doing electric bass live.
Nice.
But someone asked me to play a gig, so at a country club. So I kind of wanted to add in some. So I added in some like Marley classics or some other reggae classics, just so give something people can identify with, but I kind of dub those out as well. It all kind of I'm kind of giving it all that sound. So I'm enjoying it. So I'm bringing like all of my equipment. It's like everything I own. It's unbelievable, dude.
So when you go to
It's
gigs, you're bringing
unbelievable.
everything?
It's unbelievable. So I'm like, what am I doing? I'm serious, like, because I'm bringing. So here, let me tell you. So with the dub tones, I really learned that less is way more.
Yeah, right.
So for the dub tones, I had 10-inch little Yamaha speakers.
Yep.
You could easily lift, and then a tiny little 5-channel amp. That was it, and then my guitar amp. With this, dude, I'm bringing my trailer now. Because it's heavy bass and drum, right?
Yeah.
So I'm bringing, dude, I have 2 subwoofers, 18-inch subwoofers, right, in the trailer. And I have like a front end, which I'm using 12s. Because now that I have the subwoofers, I'm going to use 12s in the front end and 10 on stage. So I'm bringing 2 power amps, my 12-channel mixer. I have every channel.
So you're using all 12 channels?
All 12 channels.
For one thing?
Yeah. It's insane, man.
Yeah. Do you find yourself psychotic going like, why am I doing all this right now? Because it sounds like a lot of work.
It is.
Yeah.
There's a few moments when because I'm on my 4th or 5th gig now.
Uh-huh.
3rd or 4th, 5th, There's a few moments where I'm like, I kind of had a little, waver in my gut. It's like, whoa, what am I getting myself into? You know what I'm saying? But I tell you what, Z, I love it up there so much. I love what I'm doing so much, and I always like being a sound guy. So it's kind of like, I love it so much it doesn't even matter now at this point. I'm getting a little quicker at the setup. There's a lot of channels. I'm running a few things in a lot of things in stereo. So there's just a lot of cables but I kind of love it. It takes me at least a solid hour
to set everything up.
And at least a solid hour to break it down.
And if anybody's interested in seeing the setup, you could see this setup this Saturday, right at Nail Creek?
Saturday at Nail Creek, yeah. That's Nail Creek's been great. They're really into it. So.
Do you think you'd ever go back to the Deftones or any kind of that type of format?
I've been doing the old music now, for like 13, 14, almost 15 years.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad to leave it behind right now.
Okay.
I'm never gonna, obviously maybe another 15 years I'll be back into it.
For sure.
But I'm really glad to be doing the reggae dub, man. I'm loving it. It's like my little laboratory up there,
The mad scientist.
And I'm also really playing the melodica, which I had when I was with the Hot Steppers. So I have all these instruments that have been sitting around for like literally 15, 20 years. I'm using everything now. It's insane the amount of stuff I'm bringing.
You're the mad scientist.
Yeah. I'm trying to, be creative up there. I'm learning as I go, I'm really learning as I go. Because there's a lot going on, there's a lot of things going on. And so I really got to lay down some more rehearsal time with Devin and because I have a lot of ideas.
Well, Devin's that kind of guy that could just jump right in.
The thing is, the real appeal to me with Devin is he's really into it. So he can, at first that's what he was doing, is jumping in. But then he has this looper. So we started trying to, Devin, you got to start laying down 3-part horn parts, and that's going to evolve now to a lot more. So Devin has all the horns.
Is he changing his pitch of the horns?
So he has a bass sax. He has every horn.
Right.
So sopranino is the high, and then there's like the soprano, all the way down. He
Alto.
has. So I'm so interested in doing things like the bass sax with the baritone and the tenor, like the 3 lowest horns. Like the tone that would generate would be just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So we want to do things like that, and things like even we kind of want to toss around the idea of doing one song or with like all the horns and some kind of just wall of sound. It's just like the tonal possibilities with that are pretty cool, especially with reggae, because a lot of that music does have horn line. Obviously it has horn lines. So I think it's going to really work.
Awesome, man. So when pandemic first hit, we had this singer-songwriter competition at the Stanley Theater, which I was lucky enough to be a judge and working at the Stanley and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I got to check out your submission. And I'm sitting there laughing my ass off, going, "Wow, this dude's got balls!" Because everybody there, they're singing. They got their guitars, they got their piano. They're singing songs about their significant other, some life experiences. Here you are with your mixer, and like you referred to it earlier, as your mad scientist laboratory, and you're just mixing things left and right and throwing it down. And I sat there and laughed. I'm like, number one, the kid's got balls, because it wasn't like an actual like singing type of song, because it was a singer-songwriter thing. And you were just like, screw it, I'm just gonna put my stuff in and see what happens. And I actually enjoyed it. I loved it. And everybody's like, well, it's not really a song. I'm like, yeah, but it is. You know, he's still a musician. He's putting a song together. There might not be singing over the top of it, but there was, it was great, man. And I was like, go, Jerry. So it was cool to see exactly what you were doing. And that was the first time I got to taste it.
Well, nice, because, I was kind of hesitant, but then I was like, it doesn't even matter, because honestly, it just gave me something to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on lockdown. I've been working on these dubs or whatever, and so it just kind of gave me something to really focus on. Like I recorded that video like, umpteen times to get it just how I want. You know what I'm saying? So it really helped me kind of hone some of my skills. So in that vein, it didn't really matter at all. I didn't, there's always a part of you that's, well, you never know. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't matter.
For sure.
I'm sure the winners were all great.
Yeah, they were. There was a lot, and it shows the amount of talent that we have in the 315.
Yeah.
And that was just a Utica-based thing too. We didn't even open it up to Syracuse, or it was just kind of Utica in the Valley. And we had like 70 submissions or something like that. So, and awesome. Everybody was top notch. And then it put a lot of younger kids on my radar as well. Kids still playing in high school. And a lot of new musicians on the scene. It's like, it's hard to keep up. You can't really keep up with it now. It's almost too hard to, because although there has been a little bit of a slowdown with the COVID, but even so, stuff like that really brings them out. Yeah. With before COVID, you're a music teacher. Yes. You teach, and I'm sure you get to see a lot of talent coming up. Are there a couple people on your radar right now that just kind of blow your head off? Like, wow, kid, you got it, type of thing? I mean, it's interesting. I mean, you can always see kids with talent, anywhere you go. I teach elementary school, K through 4. Yep. And so I definitely see kids with natural talent. It's, kids at that age, most of them, not all of them, just like anything, but kids that age, they love, especially the younger ones, they love to sing and they love to dance. They love to express themselves musically. So I have obviously a music background, but I also have a dance background. So I do a lot of singing and dance, song and dance stuff. It's great with the little kids, and they literally eat it up. It's amazing how well they absorb the choreography, and it's really great. And then when we did a few different concerts. We did a Veterans Day assembly thing. And the response that I was getting from the parents and the grandparents, it blew me away, because the kids have never really had that exposure to just like a lot of song and dance. It's like, I just took my music classroom kind of turned into like a full-fledged like dance studio. Broadway. It really did, man. Especially at the holiday I had my kindergartens do a dance from the Nutcracker. Oh, cool. And so, it was just like a full-out dance studio. Yeah, man. I line them up, and it's just like, let's get, and they love it. Yeah, they love it. And it gets them active, too. It gets them active. It's great with the girls. Sometimes you get older, and the boys, because it's usually because, I hate to say it, but they're, a lot of the parents, frown upon males going into dance. That's just how it is. But I'm totally encouraging of all that. So. And you're inspiring, and you help molding minds. Dude, they love doing the Nutcracker, jumping around, dancing. They love it. Yeah. They love it. Yeah. Hanging with Jerry Dee today. Man, this whole COVID thing has been quite up and down, and I really hope these kids can get back to school eventually, and you could get back to work. And yes. Are you able to teach throughout this pandemic? Or I have taught
on online. I did the whole
Have you?
online thing. Like I said, I teach elementary school in the mornings, and I work for BOCES, Oneida Herkimer Madison BOCES, which is right up in Hartford. But in afternoons, I work at BOCES, and I teach 7th through 12th grade alternative education, which is a tough job in of itself. But so I was able to teach my elementary school classes online through like either Google or Zoom, and it was kind of, being at home for me. I had a great setup of all my, my equipment, so it was it lended itself really well for me because I did a lot of cool activities. We also had to send home work every 2 weeks. So I did a lot of activity-based stuff where they're making little instruments or kind of stuff like that. So I kind of enjoyed it.
What are they saying? Are they coming back anytime soon? Is there like any kind of date? I know schools have to come up with some sort of plan.
There's still no indication, so they definitely have to have plans in place. I know the administrators are scrambling around right now to figure out what they're going to do, because in our state they're leaving it really county to county based upon the numbers and the trend and all that. So it's really hard to kind of predict what's going to happen. I mean, you probably the safe bet is to say there's going to be a hybrid model of some kids at school and taking shifts, but I don't know if we'll see full on enroll, kids all, the full population in school in September. I'm not really sure about that.
Probably not.
Probably not.
When you mean hybrid, every other day type of thing?
Yeah, some type of model where some of it is virtual. Maybe like half the population comes, every other day, something like that. I'm teaching a couple summer school courses, and for these classes, I have to go to BOCES and teach virtually. But that's one step in toward that direction, because no one was teaching at school before the summer. So now we have teachers in school teaching, albeit virtually. Although you do see some kids who have high needs, especially at BOCES, obviously, who have high needs. I see some of them in BOCES floating around. Good to see them.
Yeah, I can't even imagine being a kid right now living through all this. I see some of my friends' kids, like some of them are flourishing learning at home and doing very, very well. And then I have other friends that actually do well in the social aspect of school and are doing horrible at home.
You absolutely hit it. Well, so just for an example, when I was teaching all my elementary school classes, I didn't teach any of my high school or junior high online, but my elementary school classes, we had roughly a 25% attendance rate, sign-in rate. So, that's not super, right there. But, and the kids some of them were okay with it. Some of them were fine with it. We did see a lot of unhappy, kind of bummed out faces, and I try to lift their spirits, and we try to build their confidence, and so but definitely there's certain kids, they just some of them can respond well. Others, I think they're really missing school. I know probably all of them are missing school.
Yeah, a lot of these kids have hard time struggling socially just because they're so wrapped up in their devices and whatnot.
Yes.
It's a lot different than from what we were growing up to. I always needed that social aspect of school and communicating with people and doing our thing. Now it's not, the kids aren't as social as we were growing up.
No. Well, hopefully, it won't last, too long into the future, and we can put this behind us as best we can. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think that did have a large impact on the kids that I teach, for sure.
Yeah. Hopefully we get back to it soon and get back to live music and concerts and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But it's slowly starting to come back. And,
it is.
And you've had a couple gigs recently.
I think I've had 4 or 5 gigs now, so it's going. And I'm still I still have a few booked right now, so I'm gonna try to keep it going. So,
Nice.
yeah.
See, I haven't been out yet, and I'm not running out to a bar anytime soon. But what is it like right now on, say, the bar scene or one of your gigs? Like, what is it like? I mean, are people following in place? Are they following guidelines?
So I've been playing gigs now for a couple months, and the first gig I played was at a country club, and it's almost as if the pandemic never happened. There was like zero social distancing, like nobody was social. No one had a mask on, staff, nobody. So there was that. But I think when you fast forward to today, in the last week or two, I think people are realizing that, it's still here. It's still a threat, and it's even maybe getting. I'm not even sure if we had a first wave yet. I don't know. I feel like we haven't even had our. Like I'm not really sure, but I feel like in a lot of the places, the first wave is just really starting to happen.
Right.
You know what
right.
I mean?
California went back down on shutdown. And
Right. They're
Florida
back on shutdown, so I'm pleasantly surprised with how our state has handled it.
Yeah.
So, but now you find a lot more. The bars have to do it if they want. Basically they have to do it if they
Or
want
they
to
could
stay
get a
open.
$10,000 fine.
Yeah. So there's always, there's that to contend with. So obviously you see a lot of the bars, adhering much more to all the regulations, and it's understandable. I think most people around here understand and accept it.
Let's hope.
Yeah, let's hope, because it's only going to help increase our chances at putting it behind us.
Yeah.
So,
And getting back to normal.
there's the whole political conversation that we're not even going to touch. It's insane.
Let's try not to.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to, but we could have that. But we could have that. But it's insane.
It really is. It is. And this isn't really a political conversation, really, because it's more of a human thing.
Right,
It's humanitarian, and it's like helping each other. And that's what we're doing by wearing this mask. We're protecting each other.
Yeah. And
it's not a right-wing, left-wing situation here. It isn't. I know everybody wants to make it that way.
The fact that you can even have that conversation like that just is not good.
Right.
It's not good.
It just seems like in today's day and age, everything's freaking political. Everything.
I'm having a deja vu right now.
Are you?
Which I feel like the last time I was here,
Did we have this conversation?
I had the same exact. I'm having a deja vu right now. I think if you roll the tape back, man, I swear to God, bro.
What's deja vu mean? Does that mean you're at the right place?
No, it means like you feel like you've experienced what you're experiencing before.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
But doesn't it have a meaning behind it?
I don't believe so. Like a overall universal meaning.
Yeah, like
the
a
meaning
previous
is,
life type thing. I've heard many different scenarios behind it.
That's not how I interpret it as like, whoa, I feel like I've lived this moment before.
Whoa.
But it's more like, there's so many elements that are so similar to a different moment, right? I think that's what.
When was the last time you were here? I can't remember. Maybe
With the Dove Tones, so it's been the last 3 years, probably about
been
3
a couple
years when we
times.
started out.
Yeah.
And then I've been here
Couple
maybe
times.
3 times, or 2 or 3 times
For sure.
before today. It's always fun.
Yeah, man. You still have the VW bus?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
And like that bus has been in your life for how many years now?
It's unbelievable, man. Just let me think about it. I lose track every few years. So, what year is it? Okay, so 24 years, dude.
24 years.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think I am. Don't quote me on that. I'm not really good
Is it
at
safe
math.
to say you had that bus in high school?
No.
No. Okay.
I
I'm
had-
thinking Mike Plopchuk.
Yeah, he did. He had a bus.
He had it in high school.
I had a bus in high school.
Uh-huh.
I bought my first car was a bus, 76 Transporter, not the camper like I have now, but it was my first car, 76 bus. Paid $300 for it.
Did you?
Yeah, and then I went to college. No, then I sold it after I graduated high school, and I got a 73 Beetle convertible. It was orange. Then I brought that to school with me, various places, North Carolina. And then I sold that. I came home one summer from school, and I sold it so I could save the money and get a camper down south. And I found a beautiful camper, man. It was awesome.
And you're still living in it.
I'm still living in it.
And the maintenance is pretty easy on that, correct?
Yeah, you just got to find the right mechanic, which is, you know. So I'm actually it's at a new mechanic. It's at a guy right now that's a new guy for me, but I've heard great things about him. So he's I'm having a little fuel issue with it right now, but for years I've had a great mechanic. This guy John Sunoco Service. He was down on Whitesboro. You remember that place on Whitesboro Street down near the Skaterama with all the Volkswagens there all the time?
I do.
Yeah, dude, he was the man, dude. He rebuilt that bus engine in his 80s. I'm not even kidding. And then one day I was still paying him back for the rebuild, and he passed away, and the shop closed up, gone. Crazy, huh? Anyways, so thank you, John. This guy is straight from he was born in Poland, but he worked at the Volkswagen factory somewhere in Germany, where he was, you know. And then he opened up his own shop. John Sunoco Service is what it was for. I think he was in that spot since like 60s, 70s, you know.
Yeah.
Like pushing my bus in the garage in his in his 80s, like one of those dudes. Probably died pushing a bus or something.
Died in his happy place.
He was the man. I love that dude.
Sounds like he loved doing what he was doing.
Oh, he loved taking care of you. He was just one of those dudes who, like I said, I was still paying him back for like he didn't really care. He loved working on the bus just as much as you loved your bus, you know, and just wasn't real worried about the money aspect.
Is there like a whole Facebook group of people who own buses? Do you belong to it?
I'll be honest. I do not follow hardly anything or anybody on Facebook.
I don't blame you.
Like, I unfollow pretty much.
Same.
Just anything that can trigger me, some kind of response.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I
do know.
Yeah, all I follow now, because that's how I am. I'm a nice guy in real life, but I just play a dick on Facebook. But anyways, where was I going with that? So yeah, all I follow on Facebook are Volkswagen stuff, boat stuff, some music stuff. You know what I mean? That's like shit like that.
Keep
and
it
a few
simple.
people, the D, stuff like that. I keep it real. Try to keep it real simple, but there's always some damn thing that.
Oh, I know, brother. I know. I'll tell you, it's been throughout this Corona coaster. Same thing with me. I was like going on online live every night, getting drunk, getting crazy.
Yeah.
And I just one day it just snapped, and I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. And I just totally got off it. Not that I deleted my account or anything, but I just started taking care of my mental health.
Disappeared for a while. That's good. Man.
It was the racist crap that I couldn't deal with anymore.
Crazy stuff.
I couldn't. And you find out about people and even family members that you're like, wow, I can't believe you're like this, and I never knew about this. So it got to my mental health, and it was time to let go of the social media.
Good for you.
And
good for
you find me on Instagram all the time.
You know what? You look great.
Thanks, man.
You got a nice. I don't know what it is, man. You got a glow.
Oh, wow.
People tell you that?
Yeah, actually, you're the third person to tell me this week, to be honest with you.
Honestly,
and use the same exact words, too.
I wouldn't be. That's why I asked you if somebody, because I wouldn't be surprised, because it's prominent. It's a prominent glow.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's exercising a lot and taking care of the health and eating right.
I heard one of your shows I was watching, you were talking about, who is it? Colenso, that your work has got you motivated? No.
Yeah, he sometimes works out with me, but Gabe Altamero.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
who's
good,
our neighbor over here.
Awesome. Well, that's great.
We've been hitting the gym all the time, and
nice.
Well, not the gym. We go to MVCC track every morning.
Okay.
And dude, anybody's welcome to come join us too. We've got these crazy workout regimens, and we open the doors to everybody. And in fact, my guest tomorrow is one of our guys that works out with us. He has a thing called Fitness Within, and his name's Noah Morton, and he's trying to be in the NBA D League actually.
Wow,
and he's had some
man.
Columbine tests and stuff like that. So we're going to talk to him about that. But yeah, just trying to take care of yourself. As well as I do, man. You get to that certain age, and you really need to start taking care of your health.
Dude, I tell you, I've been working out in my basement since COVID, and my body feels. There's no denying it. It's like people are always wondering why they feel. People. All it takes is some exercise and the right diet. It's like I feel so much better just by working out in my basement.
Yeah, indeed.
I have a bad back, so. but it's not aching anymore like it used to.
Right.
You know, I feel a little more solid. You know, it's not hard.
Are you into yoga?
No, I'm
No?
not really into yoga, but I'm into kind of meditation. You know, I meditate, but
Do you meditate every day?
not every day. I
Yeah.
try to get in, you know, as much as I can. But
Yeah. Is it hard to shut it off when you meditate? Or can you just get right into
I
it?
can get right into it, man.
Can you?
It's pretty easy for me. Yeah. But my nephew out in Arizona, he's just like a big buff dude who like, you know, deadlifts like 580 pounds. You know what I mean? So he sent me this program, a route, you know, a sweet program. And so I've been doing that the past few weeks. It's killing me, but I feel great.
Yeah.
But it's great because this is my nephew, right? So I want to like, you know,
Prove to him that
him.
the old man still got it, right?
Right. Plus, it's great because he sends me a text. He'll send me a message every day. How did workout go? You know, or let me know how it goes tonight. You know, so he's kind of like pushing me. It's been a really cool experience, like with my nephew online.
Yeah, the powers of technology.
Yeah, right.
And bringing us all together.
But he's been giving me a lot of good, the more versatile workout, which I really kind of needed. You know, so it's been good.
That muscle confusion's a real thing. You got to switch it up to change your routine up if you want to get results.
Right, and I was definitely not mixing it up enough, and I was trying, you know. So he gave me this great program, and it's really mixing it up nice, and I'm just working it all out.
Right on, brother.
Yeah, I feel
right in your
great.
basement, so you have this
Right in my
gym?
basement, yeah. Yeah.
Now, do you lift weights, or is it
So
just
it's
body
mostly
exercises?
weights,
Yeah,
mostly free weights.
free weights.
Yeah, all free weights. I've built up a little, you know, cadre of weights and bars, and not enough, but
Yeah.
I'm getting there, you know.
Right, for sure.
So,
Keep that body in shape.
yeah,
Do you do cardio?
I try to go on walks a lot.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, but I haven't I used to go to Planet Fitness.
Yeah, me too.
And so then I would do more cardio, and then I would do weights. So I don't really have other than like so I don't really have like a cardio, you know, machine. So I just kind of been doing weights really.
Yeah.
I do need to do more cardio though.
Walking helps too, though.
We do a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed too. People are out walking a lot now throughout this pandemic. I've seen a lot of people on the streets, more so now than ever before.
I spent a lot of time out walking around.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Especially in the early days where it was so quiet. Everything was so quiet. It's kind of nice out there, taking walks and seeing everything slow down.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
And it's good to see people out there exercising and getting it in. And we'll go to the at the track 8 o'clock in the morning, and we'll see,
Right.
you know, 50, 60 people out walking past or doing whatever. I mean,
That's how it was up at the Eagle. I spent a lot of time at the Eagle. I live close by, so I've never seen so many people walking up the hill, hanging out up the Eagle. It was great.
Back in the switchbacks.
That's like one of the best kept secrets in the city.
The switchbacks?
Well, I don't spend too much time out in the switchbacks, but just the Eagle Monument overlooking the valley, and the city and the valley is just like, for me, it's like the best spot in the city. It's really
Best view in the city, too.
You know, there's a lot of you know, the image of the Eagle has been pretty tarnished over the decades.
Right.
You know, a lot of it is, I would say, so, you know, I literally I spend a lot of time at the, dude, my van is on Google Maps at the Eagle. Come on. I'm not even kidding. That's how much time I spend at the Eagle. So, so 95% of all that is hype and homophobia, let's be honest.
Right.
Okay. So, you know, there's a lot of different elements that are more social in nature to the whole thing, you know. So I could get into that further, but you know, like I said, just go up there. It's a great place.
It is, and it's a great walk too. If you walk up that hill going into the cemetery,
Great walk.
all the way up, it burns.
Great walk, man.
It's a burner because it's a gradual climb up that
There's
hill.
a lot of different ways to go. If you went up the ski hills, well, you have the chair lift, which is the steepest, and then the old T-bar, which is a more gradual. But then if you went around up to the Master Garden Road, which is, you know, between the cemeteries off of Oneida Street, That's the steep one too. That's a really good one to burn. But then out the other side, onto the Parkway, if you go up, that's a nice, long, gradual hill. It's a really nice ride.
And through the
bikes,
golf course.
Through the golf course, yeah, it's a great ride. I'm gonna get a little political.
Right.
I don't think they take care enough of the park.
They
up
don't.
There. I'm not
Any
sure
of the
about,
parks.
maybe all the other, but I spend so much time in Roscoe Conkling specifically. I grew up on the ski hill, man. I grew up 2 blocks from that place. I live a block from it now. I used to work the lifts and the Parkway.
Did you?
Many years, man. It was my spot up there, dude. I could get into that too. But anyway, so I go up there a lot, and it's a shame that. I mean, I understand about maybe not having the weather to open the but there's so much they could be doing with that.
Right.
I couldn't even begin. There's so much they could be doing with that. Even how about just off for a start? How about chairlift rides in the fall?
I know. I said that too.
$1 a person.
I was
kids
up there
free.
a couple weeks ago. I said the same exact thing.
That's just for starters. So when I was first going to get married.
Is it safe though, that chairlift?
Yeah. Oh,
it doesn't look
totally
too safe anymore.
They have to have it. If they're going to open it, they have to have it inspected every so often.
Right.
It's totally safe. But don't quote me on that. But I wanted to get, when I first was going to get married, I wanted to have the wedding at the Eagle, and I wanted the procession. So just picture this. Everyone's at the Eagle. Everyone's waiting for the wedding party. They don't know. All of a sudden, the chairlift starts moving, and up the hill comes the wedding party on the chair. That was my dream, but never happened. Anyway, so there's a lot they could be doing with that place, but how about just, for
mowing the lawn?
They had. I could keep going, but anyways, it's still the best place.
I agree. It's such a gem
for
in
the
Utica.
money.
And I love the little gems that we have here in Utica. There are so many cool little parks.
Sweet little gems.
Yeah,
man.
and that definitely is right at the top of the list. As well as Proctor Park, too. I go to Proctor Park a lot and walk that because that full track is a mile if you keep walking around it. And there's a lot of people out there. But, there's litter and trash all over the place. And that's this. I'm going on a little soapbox right now because what pisses me off, I know we got to wear these masks and stuff, and I'm good with wearing these masks. I wear it all. I got mine in my back pocket, but these disposable ones, don't litter them. Stop throwing them on the ground, people.
Everywhere.
I see them everywhere. You people,
what is going on?
Yeah, you're the problem in the world,
last
people.
Thing you want to see.
Stop littering your masks. It pisses me off till no end, man. When I see you just walk out of a grocery store and you'll see masks on the floor or on the ground or up in the sewers or whatever.
Man.
Stop littering your mess. That pisses me off so much.
No, I hear you, man.
It's the hippie in me too, because we got to protect Mother Earth.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. Absolutely. But there are some great gems in Utica, and people should be out there supporting these and getting out to the parks and getting active. And
yes, the zoo, they're doing some great.
The zoo's back open again.
I didn't even realize. I was up there last Friday for a gig for their Sipping at Sunsets, whatever it is. Nice, very nice facility that they had. The new deck over. I haven't been there in a while, but there's also this new center that they're opening. Like some big science center, a museum or something. It's been pretty impressive. So that's
Did you check it out?
No, it's still it's still being constructed. So, but I couldn't really believe that the money and the facility that's going in up there is pretty impressive. Mm-hmm. The best thing about the zoo of all time was when a husband of one of the zookeepers up there back in the 80s used to wrestle the alligators. You remember that, dude?
No.
Oh, I was there. I saw it. So, yeah, you don't remember that, man?
No.
You try to check the Utica OD archives, man. This dude would there was like, at the zoo, there was like a concrete pit, maybe like, I don't know, 6 feet in diameter, not big, with like a steel, a fence around the whole thing, like a high fence. And the alligator would be in there, and you were just allowed to get right around the cage. I was like right on the cage. I got splashed, like it was right. So there'd be some water in there, and the dude would come in and wrestle the alligator, bro.
I did not know that.
Wrestle the alligator, and
like Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, he would get on his back, and he's like, it was insane, you know. But I don't think they're really doing that type of thing these days.
In Utica, he'd be known as Crocodile Quesadich.
Well, he was the husband of one of the women who was a zookeeper up there, man.
Wow.
I remember that, yeah.
I didn't know
So that was wild. And then there was always the zoo fair was always the coolest thing.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
they stopped doing that because of the animals, because they used to have all the rides right in the zoo. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
I do remember that.
the Ferris wheel was right in front of like the reptile house. Like it was all right there. It was awesome. That was like the highlight of the summer.
Yeah.
But they stopped because of the animals, and also they stopped the fireworks at the Parkway, which was it's too bad. I totally agree with the decision because of the animals, but it was always like the ideal spot,
Right.
because you launch them over the hill,
Yeah.
and it's just.
Well, I like it at Proctor Park too, though,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there's so much space for everybody
Yes.
to conjugate
Yes.
and hang out.
See, this is the east-south, south versus east battle.
Here we go. Yeah, I know. We're gonna
want
start
that.
fighting about pizza next.
Well, I'm both sides because my dad lived on the east side,
Mm-hmm.
so I always Anthony Fiozo always would accept me. I don't know if you know Anthony Fiozo.
I do.
Man. Fiozo.
Uh-huh.
He would always be cool because I had the east side in me,
That's funny. We're live on Facebook. Couple people checking in. Mark Leo saying hello to you.
Mark
Good to hear
Leo.
from you, Mark. If you are out on Facebook land, please click the share button. It would help spread the word of what Jerry's got going on with D-Plex, and of course
D-Plex.
here at the EC Radio and Disruption Network. Gabe saying he'll test the chairlift. We'll throw Gabe on the chairlift, see if it works.
Absolutely, we'll fire her up, man.
Yeah, for sure.
we got to power her up.
And he wants to know if we want pizza. Yes, I do want pizza. So if you got some pizza, bring it in, brother. Also, Derek's checking in saying, "What's up, Uncle Z?" Derek, good to hear from you. And then Jeff Adderman saying those parks are all Olmsted designed.
Yes.
He also did Central Park. I didn't know that.
Yep. There's on Facebook. There's I think it's the Central New York Parks Conservancy, and they just had a link to a pretty extensive history of all of the Olmsted parks in the area, and it's pretty interesting. So yeah, Olmsted, he was the guy who did Central Park, and
Wow.
you can see the character. If you can see some old pictures. But even like the old postcards, like the character of the parks was beyond what it is today. When, going up to the, the Eagle Monument, it was just everything was trees. The road was completely covered with trees, big stones paving the way. All types of things like that. And you can even when you're up in the switchbacks, you can see the old stone hearths up there.
Yeah.
And the old picnic. Like stone tables it's just another time.
Yeah.
And it's like, imagine if they could just bring all that back and restore it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever going to happen. Who knows?
Yeah,
amazing.
for sure. Jerry, I got to cut this kind of short. We talk so much. I knew this was going to happen today, too.
Yeah,
I got
I
a
knew
couple
time
things I
was
got to
probably
take care
going
of.
on,
But plug your dates, some dates that you got coming up
All
and
right,
stuff.
so I have Nail Creek Pub on Sunday, 2 to 5.
Oh, it's Sunday. I mentioned Saturday earlier,
yeah,
so
no,
I
it's-
apologize about that.
It's Sunday, 2 to 5, right on the deck.
Yeah.
So it's outside. That's my second gig there. I love it. I love Nail Creek.
Shout out to Chris and
Yeah,
Tracy.
Chris and Tracy, no doubt. In fact, the Rusty Doves, man, because I think I'm the first band to be back since COVID, but the Doves were the first band to play ever at the Nail Creek Pub, so I love Nail Creek Pub.
Yep.
But anyways, and then we're playing Babes. What are they having? Chill and Grill. Chill and Grill, Saturday, it's August 1st. And then we're also going to be at the View Arts in Old Forge.
Oh, great place.
At the gallery, View Gallery. So excited about that.
Nice.
And I think that's all that's on our schedule. This is one of those projects that, which I knew going in, but I didn't really care. You got to kind of find just the right venue. It's not quite as versatile, I would say,
Right.
as some of my past projects,
Right. You're not playing Uptown Funk. Let's get that across right now.
Well, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing. It's half of it is. I wouldn't say more is instrumental, you know. So, but it's heavy drum and bass. So, but I'm not doing like country clubs anymore.
Right.
I mean, I am, but I'm kind of drifting away from that. But that's okay because I kind of like it because I'm not taking it too seriously in that vein. So
As long as you're having fun
I'm
with
having
that's the
so much
important
fun,
thing.
man. I'm having
And
so
it's
much fun.
feeding your creative soul.
it really is. I'm up there playing bass, electric guitar, melodica, keyboard. I go back and forth. But once I start the loop, it's like it's just going. I don't have to do anything. It's just like, but it's really good. It's really good.
Is there a social media page that people could check out Dplex?
Yeah, it's Dplex on Facebook. Really, you know.
And it's DEEPLEX.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
That's it, man. That's it. And yeah.
Got a lot of love for you, brother.
Thanks so
Ever
much,
since
dude.
we were neighbors over on Oneida Street
I
back in the
know,
day. We
man.
had some fun back then.
We
so
did. We had a lot of
we
fun.
did. And one day we should do a podcast on all
Well,
those
we
days, if
have-
I can remember any
We
of it.
go way back. You know, I've had a million gigs at your
At the ECE,
place,
and
and
so
all
many
different
years.
types of bands over the years.
For sure, man.
I'll never remember you saved my life at the big freaking. Remember that big fight? There's, it's not like it's unheard of or atypical, but there was one night where it was Orange. What was that band? Orange. Anyways, I was working the door with Joe Basie, and this dude was harassing you, coming back. Anyways, this dude and him got in a fight. This guy was pummeling the dude, right?
I don't remember.
And I
any of this.
tried to get in, and like it's just like immediately all these dudes like reached for my throat and like jumped on me, but you were like, no, that's Jerry Dee. Like literally, that's what happened. Like I tried to like get things under control, and all these dudes, they were your dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like they just were gonna I literally felt several hands grab my neck.
Oh my God.
And you were literally like, no, that's Jerry Dee. And then, it was cool. But it was insane, man.
I don't remember that, but I also refer to those years as my blackout years. So
I hear you, man.
you know how it goes. Thanks for coming today,
Thank
bro.
you
Let's
so
do this
much,
again
man.
really soon
Yeah,
too.
yeah, absolutely.
Sorry I had to cut it short.
No,
but
man.
let's definitely get together soon.
Nail Creek Pub, 2 to 5 this Sunday.
Sunday, go down there. They got a great brunch down there too for Sundays
they do.
too. So
They really do.
shout out once again to Chris and Tracy Talgo over at Nail
Chris and
Creek.
Tracy, thank you.
Also,
Z.
shout out to EJA Moving Services.
EJA.
If not for EJA Moving Services, this podcast would not be possible. So thank you to Eddie and his crew. When you're ready to move and relocate, hit up Eddie at ejamoving.com or 315-335-0516. Thank you to Dave Longaretta, my good friend, the attorney. He's the man, Utica Coffee and Saranac. And I'm going to be back tomorrow with my guest, Noah Morton. You guys have yourself a pleasant day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Thanks, man. Take care, everybody.
Disruption Networks.